Welcome to Blog to Your Talent. This is lesson 5, and we are on the topic of why you should blog. One of the reasons why you should blog is because you want to learn to develop your voice in your field of talent. And this is very similar to another lesson that we had. We're talking about developing a style. Now, a style and a voice, of course, are very, very similar. The difference that I would make is that on this point is that a style is more related to the type of field that you're in. So if you're more interested in a talent that is math related, the way you present the information is not going to be just a list of facts, but you're going to present it in a particular way that other mathematicians like to see it. So it's going to be more of a formatting and a style which you need to develop. But then layered on top of that, you want to also insert your voice. And to develop your voice is much more of your unique, very, very unique character within the overall style of your talent field. And you can have all sorts of styles. And a lot of times you probably already have a style that you gravitate toward, and they can be really funny. Even us as adults, you and I, we like to follow any number of blogs for our own talents and our own work. And what are some of the blogs that you know that we like to follow that, if you could describe them, the kind of voice that they would have, what would it be?
One I know that you like to follow, and I'm actually getting drawn into it because I'm seeing this guy's voice, is that there's a blogger that I would say is probably about 20 years older than us. And so he's an older generation, and I would describe him as crusty. And maybe you've met somebody like that, where they're just this is how it is, this is how you work it, and I'm probably right and you're probably wrong, right? Would you always say?
Yeah.
But he truly is most of the time right, and so he just writes in that voice. But I've come to really appreciate it because I know he's going to say it like it is. It's all very, you don't have to wonder, like, well, is he trying to manipulate me? No, he's saying what he believes. And we really like it because we get a lot of information from this person that is true. And he's already read a lot of books, and he's already digested it. And he's been on this earth for a long time, so he can compare it to the past. So we get a lot of information out of that. But his style could probably offend somebody else in the room, that wouldn't be used to it. So in his case, he has a very unique voice and style. Well, we're talking about voice.
Yeah, well, in that case, he does have a style. Yeah. He writes a lot about finance and sometimes some financial news. And so he does follow what you would expect style-wise for people presenting financial information. But in addition to that, he also has he has his own crusty voice.
Yeah.
And so it's very appealing because sometimes you'll find other writers on the financial news who just have lists and lists of facts and information, and you always feel, are they ever going to make a point about this? Mm-hmm. And what he will do in order to emphasize his point is he will finish with a very crusty comment or open with a very crusty observation, which forces you to think deeply about the point of a financial news. And so he's developed a voice. So what I want you to do in this lesson is I want you to think about your favorite fictional characters that you have read, like maybe you love Sherlock Holmes, or there's a particular actor that you've seen. Maybe you like Jane Austen, and there's a particular actress that has portrayed one of those characters. And think of that person and think, boy, I'd love to be able to talk like that. Well, find that character. I want you to write about it in a blog post, why you like that style, and think about possibly incorporating at least part of that style into your writing. It's going to take you a while, but maybe you can do this.
And remember, you're in the early stages, so if you feel like, oh, this just doesn't come out right, just play around with it. Just do what you want. You can have somebody read it before you publish it. If you're not sure, you should put that out there publicly, but just play around with it. Remember that this is the early stages of your blog. You don't have a lot of traffic yet, and so it's okay to kind of play around and get comfortable with your voice.
Until the next lesson, happy talent journey.
Happy talent journey. Okay, Caleb, Dad and I had a video where we talked about developing your voice, and we want to encourage people, bloggers and new bloggers, to have somebody in mind as they develop their own voice, and we explain how to think of somebody who has maybe a cartoon character or an actor or a singer or someone who has a special style and voice, especially. So have you done that? Have you kind of thought of someone that you as you blog, you speak almost in that person's voice?
I would say Dick Van Dyke, you know the character, actor actually, sorry. He always applies a humorous role in his acting, yet he's able to still act graceful while looking silly, basically. So he's able to get to the point, but still give a humorous edge to it. So.
Okay, good. So he's not just being silly, foolish. He's just instead it's his personality and his humor.
Once in a while, just adding a little humorous touch to it.
Good, and I think it makes your blog post very readable and enjoyable. And even if Caleb is really deep into his silversmithing and his learning all about the hardness levels of metals, and that could to somebody like his mom come across as like, I don't need to know all of this. But for you in your talent focus, it's very important. But when I read your post, I love it because they're very interesting, and I do come away with, oh, I didn't know that. So good. I'm glad you chose a good character, because you are a little bit like that character of Dick Van Dyke and the actor, and he's got a lot of humor, and Caleb has that. It comes naturally to him. So that was a very good choice. I think that's a good one, and it comes through your posts. So go out and think of somebody who you can copy or get used to the voice of, and make that part of your blog focus.